Hey folks, I wanted to talk about Glowforge Premium today. It's a tool that exists in the world and it's a tool that I don't have. So I've made a few videos on my Glowforge Aura. I'm still playing with it, learning it. I've printed a lot of stuff or I've cut a lot of stuff on it, but there's still some things I'm learning. But my premium subscription has gone away, and that's introduced a few small problems that I want to talk about and why they are problems. So you can see a lot of details here. This is the main app page for the Glowforge. You can see your recent projects, and then there's stuff you can purchase. Or if you happen to have premium, you can see that it's free. Taking a look at that, if we go in to learn more about this, the benefits of being a premium member: you get free designs, you get a design of the month, you have unlimited storage, you get some additional creative tools, which I'll talk about a whole bunch more, a graphics library, you get early access to certain tools. So there's some things that we get into design software that I don't have access to because I don't pay for it. You get pass prints, so you can kind of go back a little bit. You get lightning fast laser lane. Basically, the idea is that you have to send these out to the cloud. They process, come back to your printer, and then they're ready to print. If you pay, you get first in line access for that. And they can also add household members with up to 2 other people in your household, which doesn't seem like a lot to me. Scrolling down a little bit further, there's not a whole bunch more that you get. You get 20% off proof grade materials and free shipping on orders over $99. But proof grade stuff is super expensive, and from my opinion, it's not worth the money. And then finally, you get Magic Canvas, which is an AI style thing that you can use to go in. But there's just a lot that you have to do there. Going back in here, if I click on Go Premium, it allows me to renew. It's either $50 a month, which is $600 a year, or if you pay all up front, you get it for $20 a month, which is going to be $239 right out of your bank account. I'm not sure that it's worth that. And I also want to talk about some of the limitations here of the software that are just completely unnecessary. So our very first limitation: when I go in to create a new design, I can create a design template, which gives me very basic tools. We'll go over that in a moment. I can upload a file, but it's limited to 100 kilobytes for DXF files and SVG files and PDFs if you have them. But it doesn't limit the other ones. This is a weird one for me because I could take an SVG file, convert it over into a PNG or a JPEG, and I can have it be full size, ready to go, no problem. But if I want to just get the highest quality SVG file, I have to make sure it's under that 100 kilobytes. And I have run into situations where I have to break the file up into multiple versions of stuff in order to get it to go, or I have to simplify it down. So that's a big problem. That's purely software limiting because they want you to pay money. I don't like that. And I've never played with design trace, but you can go and put a picture that you've drawn on the actual Glowforge. It will cut it out for you and do all the stuff. It's kind of cool. But let's go ahead and upload a file here. I'm actually going to go to our downloads area, and I have a Glowforge logo SVG that I've gone through. It's uploading and then processing, and it looks like I have an error with that. So let's try a different file. Let's just go with a simple omega sign here. So I'm going to open that one up. This is an SVG file, and it should be more than enough in size to do its thing. The processing, without spending money, takes a little bit of time, and my Glowforge doesn't have any wood in it right now, but you can see that we have the general setup for this. Now, all these little things with these little lightning bolts mean that you don't have access to them in the premium area. So that Magic Canvas, don't have it. Don't need it. I don't need AI for my creations. Basic shapes. This one's annoying, and you can't even see what you're missing out on because it doesn't let you see what's going on there. And then also text. They restrict text, and you can't even bring SVG files that have text in them. It doesn't import them. It strips them out or gives you an error message. So you have to convert them over to paths, which takes up a lot of file space. So when you're looking at that 100 kilobytes, it starts going away pretty quickly if you have a lot of text. So that's weird, and I don't like it. Over here on the right-hand side, we also have stuff. So we have create an outline. It's gone. Being able to flip vertically, gone. It's a premium feature. Horizontal flip, gone. It's a premium feature. A patterned line. Okay, maybe I can understand that. A puzzle maker. I understand that being a premium feature. But basic stuff like being able to flip stuff vertically or horizontally, come on. And then there's a stamp maker, which I don't do anything with, but we have that. If we go to a little more area, we can't export our design. We can't see past prints of what we've done. And there's just other stuff that's just weird that we don't have access to. As I mentioned earlier, our proof grade materials, they're expensive, like really expensive. I can get like 3, 4, 5 times the amount of material for the same price, and it's high quality. If I want to go slightly lower quality, I can get like 20 times the amount for what one piece of pro grade costs, or proof grade, excuse me. But when we click on here, the first thing you need to do is you need to set your material. So you click on material, it will automatically kind of recognize the proof grade stuff, which I'm cool with. And then if you're not using something, you have to click on this uncertified. Most of my stuff is 3 millimeters or 0.1, so I'll submit that. And now I have the option to go through and engrave, cut, score, or ignore certain lines. If I wanted to engrave this, I have to go into manual and I have to figure out what exactly I want to engrave. But I can't save my settings. So if I have the same exact material, I buy my material in bulk, if I have literally hundreds of sheets of it, I know what the material is, I know how it acts, I've done the testing to make sure it works with the laser engraver, I can't save those settings. I have to write them down, and every single time I open a software back up, I have to put that back in. The only time is if I'm batching stuff and it just kind of goes through. I don't have to do it for every single one because I can just reprint. But anytime I close this out, I have to redo it. The same is true if I go to cut. I have to go to manual here, and now I have to go through and put all of these settings in. I can't save it. It's weird and I don't like it. And then finally in score, it's the same thing. There's no way to save that, no custom stuff. I can't do any of that. Now, that is an added benefit if I go in and use any of this stuff that's known and ready to go. It does keep the settings in there for you for those materials. But again, you're paying an arm and a leg for proof grade materials. And if you're going premium, you're paying an arm and a leg for that. This magic canvas is cool. It's not something that I would use ever, but it's cool. And then the shapes area is super cool. Like I can't even right now insert basic shapes. If I go back to create here, and maybe we go to create a blank design, let's take a look here and see how it actually create a blank design. Oh wait, I can't do anything because I don't have anything that's available to me to do this with. So now, instead of being able to create in the software, which I think is part of the thing I paid for, I just can't do anything without additional design software or additional resources. So I think Glowforge, the product itself is great. It's a really slow laser engraver / cutter, but it does the job. It's not a industrial machine. This is a desktop machine used for craft stuff, used for the home hobbyist, which is what I use it for. But if I were going higher end stuff, I was trying to make stuff like Etsy and all that, I would probably get a different machine because there's a lot of limitations on this one and a lot of stuff you have to pay for that just seems very software limited. If they just gave basic text, not all the text, but like 2 or 3 different versions and some basic shapes, give me some triangles, some diamonds, some medallion type stuff so I can cut basic things out without having to pay $20 a month or $240 a year, I'd be thrilled. But for me, this doesn't sell it, and this is a reason to not get this machine, is the lockdown and artificiality of having all this stuff locked down way more than it needs to be. If this was, some of the stuff was lifted, where we could have basic shapes, where we could have basic text, and we can remember our basic settings for our material, or even set, if I go in here and it's an unknown material, maybe I can make a custom material, so I can name it like Negel material, and I know what it is, that would be great. But that's not the case. So the software is great once you get it going. And if you use other design software, it's fantastic. I'll make a video a little later about the stuff that I use to get around all of this and to have it work for me. But please know going in that Glowforge Premium limits the Glowforge Aura immensely. If you're looking for something that's more plug and play, this is not the answer for you unless you want to go for the premium because it's missing out on a lot of basic things that I think it should include. But that's kind of my opinion. Let me know your experiences with the Glowforge Aura, and if you have Glowforge Premium, if you see it's worth it. From most people I've talked to, they don't really care for a lot of the stuff, but they pay it because they just need it just in case, or because they don't have other design software. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in a future video. Thanks. Bye-bye.